All right, my friends, Brian here with VetteSource back today, where we're going to real quick illustrate how to properly, remove the instrument cluster assembly from the C5 Corvette convertible that we've actually had for several months now, for a while. If you'll remember, if you haven't seen the videos where I dragged this one out of the country, but unfortunately it was not able to be saved because of title issues. But we're going to go ahead and harvest the cluster out of here today, and I'll show you guys real quick. It won't be a real long video, but I'll show you. So, you know, essentially you've got underneath here that's already been removed, there's a knee bolster that goes here and comes up in your hatch release on a convertible. Your actually deck lid release is right here. And of course this one's been removed. Like most of them is broken. It was broken. It snaps into these locations here, but they break with time. And then of course underneath here you've got a support structure here that goes in. The bolts are actually right there, and they bolt up into that interface. You can see those nut plates right there. So let me turn my light on here real quick, give us a little bit better view so you can see here. So the trick to getting the steering column, but the dash cluster out on these, because it doesn't have any exposed bolts other than these Torx heads in these corners here, is you've got to kind of get those panels out of the way, and then you can visualize. Of course, there's one of your screws right there. There's the other one right. Get back in there, right there on that corner. And of course those two there. So we're just going to take these out real quick. Now, one thing to do also while you're in here, it's going to give you more room to work with, is we're going to remove and drop the steering column. Now the steering column is only going to come down so far because the actual dash support that runs from side to side is behind here, this bar that I'm tapping on right here. That's the dash support that goes all the way across. But at least by taking these out, we'll get a little bit more room to work with. And of course they're not finger tight normally. I did pre-loosen this, so you can see how that comes down just a bit so that I can get up in there. So let's go ahead and grab our 7mm here. We're just going to take that one out. And this would be, now the cluster is actually only held in with these 4 bolts. We've broken that one loose. And we have that one out. Let's go on this other side. Oh my God, this car's filthy inside. I don't know if you remember watching the videos when I acquired this one, but it was sitting outside in a woodsy area for way too long. Let's see, there it is. Okay. And all manner of critters and other foresty things had blown into it, rendering it, even if I had been able to get proper bonded title on this, I wouldn't even have bothered because it was just so nasty. Okay, so let's get this one here. Of course, these are T15s up here on the bottom, or the top. Bottom bolts are 7mm or 9/32. Now, once we pull these out, this whole assembly, you see that it all just dropped down, comes loose. And then all we're gonna do is pull forward, man, and that's it. It seems utterly ridiculous how easy it is to get to, but that's just the way they made it. Let me see if I can get this out of here one-handed. Probably not. We'll see though, hang on. All right, let's see if I can get this out. This is our HUD connection right here. That one comes out easily enough. And let's see. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. All right, well that's what I get for dealing or having a almost dead battery on my camera yesterday. So as we went to get and pull this out of there completely, of course, and I ended up having to use both hands. The camera died on the equipment here, but you can see that is that main connector that I was actually showing in that last section. You can see that's just a pressure fit, a tab fit right there, tab connection that goes in there. So that is your main connection for this harness. Of course, this is your logic unit on the back here. I believe the mileage is stored inside of here. This has a pigtail that plugs into there. This is your DIC driver information panel that is your buttons. Let me turn this around so we can see this. So these are your DIC, like what they started in the 84 Corvettes. But of course what they finally did was put it all together in one piece, one housing assembly with the unit. So they really did make it a little bit more functional. And of course there's our heads-up display. And we're missing our little slider lever there. But there's a display, and what that does, it ties around to the back in here, goes in the logic board, and then of course out the logic board, the output from the cluster goes into here, and then the inputs that you put into here, I mean, your page and your brightness and your display up and down are controlled through this harness 11-pin connector as well. So let me go ahead though, what I'm going to show you is finish this up. We're going to separate, gosh, it's hot today, this piece from the other housing so you can see how this all comes apart. So these are just basically a T15 screw all the way around the perimeter here. And of course I've kind of, again, pre-loosened. You can hear that cracking noise you hear. That's going to be what you're looking for to get these out, because this entire housing, entire cluster is plastic. There's really no metal other than what you see right here. And it is kind of a pain in the butt, because to get the DIC out, or the HUD control mechanism out switch, you've got to actually take the entire dash cluster out, like what I showed you guys in the first part of this video. So we're just going to take this apart. This has got these all the way around here. There's two more here in the front. At least the mockingbird's not making a bunch of noise today. I got one mockingbird that comes back to my house every year, probably around April, and just harasses all the other, between him and the blue jay, they just harass all the other birds that hang around out here. Oh, that sounds like babies though. Maybe somebody had some babies up in the tree there. So anyway, alright, so that comes out of there, and then we've got that separated, right? And of course what we've got to do is disconnect it, and you can see the wiring looms on these are basically just coming apart through this tab structure here. Doesn't make it too hard, but again, be careful. These wires are very thin and fragile, and then it just pulls straight out. And then of course it comes through here, and through here, and through there, and then that side's off. And of course the same thing over here. We're going to pull out gently. That's our HUD control. And pull over and out and out. Oh, and that came out. This is that connector. This connector often goes bad on these HUD displays. Just a hack for you. So if you got a HUD that's not working, check this first. That might be burned out. And then that just comes forward, and then our cluster separates from there. And there's our actual cluster, and there's our surround with the switches. We'll go ahead and take these switches out real quick. Again, you can hear that satisfying snap that lets you know you've broken the seal. And there's your DIC switch. Of course, if you guys, anybody watching this needs one of these, I have plenty of these in stock, so let me know. You can get a hold of me through Facebook or Instagram, or you can call me direct. My number is kind of plastered around everywhere you can find me. And that connector also will actually come out of there. Let's see if I can get that off. Yeah. So there's your harness connector. They made it so the harnesses would come out of both sides. So there's your DIC switch. And of course over here, we'll go ahead and take out this one here. And this one here. And then we're done. Alright, so. And then that comes out. There's your HUD switch. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up today, guys. Got more good stuff for you. It's been a busy week. I actually did acquire another wiring harness for our Jolly Green Giant over there that's been punking me with some service engine lights. So if we need to, we may try that out. We're also going to talk about that car on the trailer over there, because it has a very cool option that I want to talk about a little bit further. So thanks for watching again, guys. I'll be back probably sooner than later, more likely like close to Friday this week. So I'll catch up with everybody then, and we'll talk then. Thanks, guys.